Hi, Will.
Hey,
How are you?
doing well. Doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just one question for you. Should I trust you?
Well, no, because I don't trust you. Who are you?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we are both maybe behind the scene. We are just virtual AI creatures, and it's not David, it's not Will, somebody else. So zero
Yeah,
trust.
hold up your hand. Let's see if there's six fingers or, a deep fake.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody today talking about zero trust from cybersecurity, and actually, I find it interesting because internet is so connected, and there is so many trusted things. Like when you share secrets, you trust somebody. When you have communication, you trust somebody. So what does it mean, zero trust?
Well, so zero trust is, used to we would think trust but verify. And with
Okay.
zero trust, we're in the mantra of I can't trust anything anymore.
What does it mean? Anything?
Well, so if you think so used to we would design security like a castle, right? You had your moat, you had this big wall like our firewall, and you had one gate that you could come through, and then everything on the inside was open. As long as you were in the castle, you were protected.
Hmm.
But with modern attacks, we've been seeing that these threat actors can move inside an internal network undetected. So the idea that even the computers on your own network could be already infected. And so the idea with zero trust is we can't even trust our own assets. So we're going to have to verify everything.
So like it's like different rooms in the castle that even if you um, enter the castle, now every room it's I don't know you, and inside the room when I want to get to the special I don't
Yeah,
know gold, I will be tested again for who I am and why I'm here, etc., etc.
who you are, why you're there, proof of identity. Where'd you come from? Did you come from hallway A or hallway B? Because we only allow people from hallway A. So it
Okay.
gets very complex.
Yeah, please show me your passport, but I put the password in the gate, the big gate of the castle. I don't have it with me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We have different passwords for every room.
Okay, okay. So how it works for cybersecurity?
Well, it's I will start by saying zero trust is not a product, right? You can do zero trust with just about every product. And so, in cyber, we've seen a huge marketing flourish of zero trust. But ultimately, it's just changing from our old model to new models on how we look at the attack surface.
So I don't have to buy any other product. I just have to change the way I use the current product I have.
Absolutely. So, with zero trust, the idea is you have a protect surface. And so instead of thinking like my perimeter is where I'm protecting, now a protect surface is every asset, right? So a protect surface around your web server or around a database or around a SaaS application or the APIs to that SaaS application. So each one of these are a protect surface, and you're bringing it, basically designing the security from the inside out instead of from the outside in.
Hmm. And when you talk about zero trust, is zero trust for access or for everything?
It's for everything. So ultimately, the attacks that have been happening over the past 20 years have exploited some version of trust, right? So the idea is that if I'm on a domain connected laptop and that's connected to my corporate network, then I know it's my device, I should trust it. But how do I know that that machine isn't the attacker in the lobby with a laptop he stole from an employee's car?
Hmm.
And so it's looking at that this trust relationship is what actually has made us vulnerable more than vulnerabilities, which we still need to do. But the idea is these anywhere where we've trusted something, we're assuming it's good, but that's where we're getting exploited. Take a fish. We click on a link, we're assuming it's a good email. And so that's a trust. The email came to me, it has my name on it, it's for me. So, if I click this link, then that's an exploit and a trust. And so that's where zero trust is that philosophy that I'm not trusting anything.
So actually, zero trust is for I guess it's for the CISO, the virtual CISO, building their defense, but it's also for the employees not to trust emails, not to
It is.
trust, yeah.
Yeah, if you get that call from someone saying they're in IT or they're from your MSP and that they need to reset your credential, go to this website. That's for that employee to be skeptical. That even though that I know who the MSP is, that is this them? Can I out of band verify that this MSP is really doing this? I mean, there's all these things, and these are the trust relationships that we're trying to minimize or
Mhm.
essentially eliminate with zero trust.
Can you give an example of how a virtual CISO changed the way they use the current products that they're using and doing something with the zero trust philosophy?
Sure, just the easy thing is network traffic, right? In security, we always used to make firewall rules based on source and destination address and what ports. Well, with zero trust, we take that a step further that it's source and destination and ports, but it's also your user. Is that user allowed to do this? And then what application are you using? Right. So we're getting up to that layer 7 and layer 8 validation. And we're saying, we only allow um, Microsoft, let's say remote desktop on a domain joined machine with this user group to remote desktop this computer. So now we're not making a firewall rule just based on, you know, port 3389. We're making a firewall rule based on who the user is, what machine, what application. And so these application IDs and then that traffic pattern, that's what we're going to start trusting as we're testing everything along the way.
Hmm, interesting. Yeah, not to trust anybody and to implement it. Do you know when the zero trust philosophy started? So,
Yeah,
and yeah, sorry.
it roughly started, I would say 10 years ago, roughly, or yeah, roughly 10 or 15. I've got to think back. So it started with John Kindervag, and John Kindervag was a writer for Forrester and started looking at how trust was being exploited for cyber attacks and wrote, traveled all over, met with CISOs, met with industry leaders, and basically started this concept of zero trust. And so that pretty much any book that you read on zero trust, it all points back to John and that philosophy that he wrote about when he was with Forrester. So I think at this point it's like 10 years old.
And what is the reason that it's became so popular during the last 1, 2 years?
Well, I think as we've seen technology get smarter, right? Used to you couldn't have like check a person's identity on a firewall except for maybe through the VPN, but not on your firewall traffic.
Hmm.
So as the technology has evolved, it started allowing these things to work together. So, now we look at the technology before where we would have a router and a firewall and maybe an IDS IPS. Now we've got this idea of secure service edge, or software defined perimeter. And these things are allowing the way that zero trust, you can apply these policies. Uh, as the technology's evolved, it's allow us to evolve these protections from the old way.
Yeah, yeah. So just to make sure, Will, that the advice that we get is the right advice, can you please show me an idea just to make sure that you are the real Will?
Sorry, that's not been programmed into this AI.
Okay, okay. So thank you, Will. for letting us know what is zero trust. And I hope that all the people that listen to us understand that you should not trust anybody unless you can trust him or her or it. Um, and yeah, enjoy the zero trust journey philosophy.
Yeah, and I will say there's some great resources out there. From CISOs that I know personally. There's always help, but you can start small. It's not a redesign everything. You can start with one application.
You know, I always use ChatGPT, and when I write what is zero trust and I get a response, how can I trust the response? So this is another thing that
Well, you don't know
using
every.
AI to trust the AI, but this is completely different
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. It depends on what it's trained on, right? So how can you verify that the source was accurate?
Yeah, yeah. But I guess that when talking about zero trust, we are not talking about AI this time.
Not yet. I
Not
think
yet.
we'll get there though.
Okay. Thank you, Will.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.